We are discussing the unit plot plan development. We have already discussed its general definition, requirement of plot plan, then what are the various inputs required to develop the plot plan, and how this plot plan is useful for other discipline. Now we have started discussing the guidelines required to develop the plot plan, which are related to specific equipment. We have already covered compressors and pump in last slide. Before that, we have covered column reactor and regeneration type vessels which are tall and heavy in nature. In this presentation, we are going to cover the guidelines related to exchangers and air coolers are captured here. So if you see the heat exchanger shall be located perpendicular to the pipe rack. This is the first requirement. Whenever we are locating the heat exchanger, it should be perpendicular to pipe rack with sufficient tube bundle and road cleaning area at channel end. If you see any exchanger, we have to have bundle removal area. So we have to allocate space for that. So if you see the required space for bundle removal is about 1 meter plus the length of the removal bundle. So whatever is the length of bundle, we add 1 meter into that, and that much space we have kept for maintenance or bundle removal. For exchangers located within top of elevated structure. Okay. Sometimes we have to locate all the exchangers at some elevated structure. In that case, handling of tube bundle by crane is not possible. So in that case, we provide monorail arrangement for bundle removal and lowering of tube bundle to the ground. Okay, this is specifically for exchanger which are located at elevated structure. Multiple exchangers at elevated structure should be located with saddle on common central line. This is just to ease the supporting structural steel. Okay, so what we do, we provide common central line for all the saddles. Access requirement and canal flange removal clear space requirement shall be ensured by providing removal spool and piping arrangement. Suppose we have to take the changer under maintenance, we have to remove the piping, so for that we have to have some removal flanges in between. We open those flanges, we remove the removal flanges, removal spools, and we take it out for maintenance. Thermosiphon reboilers shall be preferably placed close to associated towers. Why we have to locate all these in close to the tower? To have simplified and minimum requirements. Okay, these are connected. If exchanger is connected to column, then it should be mounted near the column only. So we will be having some economical layout because of that. So these are the basic guidelines. We will discuss all these things in detail when we go for designing piping system for heat exchanger. These are the basic discussion only. All the guidelines related to air cooler. So if you see, generally air coolers are located at top of pipe rack, top tier. Okay. If layout permits, these can be located at grade or elevated structures. Most of the time, these are located at top, but in some cases, we located at grade also. The support legs of air cooler located above pipe rack should match the pipe rack width. If the pipe rack width is less, we can increase locally also, but it should match with the air cooler width. Access for maintenance should be provided with the service platform and ladder. Okay, if air cooler is located at top, it will be at very high elevation. So we have to provide service platform and ladders. Supports for inlet and outlet header piping shall be integrated into the support structure of air cooler. Okay, this is very important. If we have an air cooler at very high location, then it will be having its inlet and outlet nozzles, and some piping will be connected to that. So we are talking about that to support those piping, header piping shall be integrated into the support structure of air cooler. Okay, sometimes we have to talk to vendor also for some type of supports to these inlet and outlet piping. No equipment should be located above air cooler. So if you see in any plant, air cooler are located at highest point. Provide mobile crane access to air cooler for maintenance and bundle lift. because these are air cooler, there will be tubes, we have to do the maintenance, sometimes we have to pull the bundle out. For that we have to provide access. Permanent access should be provided to the motors. Okay, there are many type of air coolers. Sometimes the motor is fan is at top, sometimes fan is at bottom, but there will be motor and fans and belt drive. So we have to provide permanent access to these things. Platform under the air cooler should provide the adequate headroom. There should be headroom clearance below all these motor, fan and belt drives, with the exception of motor and belt drive. Okay, so that there is a proper space for movement. So for air coolers located above pipe rack, the support structure and bracing above the access platform to fan and motor is regarded as low risk area. So we don't have to go for fireproofing for this with this kind of bracing. Even if the structure is fireproofed, these bracings we don't have to go for fireproofing for this bracing. For air coolers located at grade and in fire hazard zone, the support structure shall be fireproofed up to the bottom of plenum chamber. Fire protection is not required for bracing. Here also we don't go for fireproofing of the bracing, which is installed for wind and earthquake purpose only. So these are the basic guidelines which we need to follow while locating the air cooler and for providing the maintenance access. So all these permanent and temporary access, whatever we have to provide, we have to take care while planning the space for air cooler. Then only we can locate it in our plot plan. We'll go for further detailed discussion on these guidelines when we go for air cooler design, especially for piping system of air coolers. These were the basic guidelines only. So this was all about guidelines related to exchangers and air coolers. I hope you enjoyed all these guidelines and you learned something. In next video, we will try to discuss guidelines related to drums and pipe racks. So see you there in the next video.